Evo, lijep pozdrav svima još jednom i hvala vam što ste se izdvojili vrijeme i priključili danas na našem trećem i posljednjem webinaru iz serije Povećanje svjesnosti i spremnosti za digitalizaciju EU zajednica pod vodstvom Europske komisije DigiConnect. U webinarima koje smo do sada održali imali smo prilike čuti o tome kako zelena i digitalna tranzicija idu ruku pod ruku i kako je važno da gradimo snažnu i neovisnu zajednicu, što možemo vidjeti u ovim raznim geopolitičkim igrama koje se odvijaju oko nas. Europa mora dati svoje jake snage i potvrditi se kao jedna neovisna zajednica, a to sve možemo naravno učiniti zajedno. U današnjem webinaru doznaćete kako Living in EU zajednica vam može pomoći u ostvarivanju tih ciljeva kroz dijeljenje znanja, kroz različite EU resurse i alate, te razmjene iskustva sa vašim kolegama iz drugih EU gradova, zajednica, općina, regija. Ono što me veseli je što smo kroz ovaj proces imali smo prilike upoznati razne alate koji su vam besplatni, za procjenu vaše digitalne zrelosti. Ono što me jako raduje je što smo uspjeli osigurati nekoliko gradova i općina koje su mi se javile da su zainteresirane za ovu inicijativu. Uspjeli smo ih pokrenuti i pomoći im da zajedno sa stručnjacima iz tvrtka koje su partneri na ovom projektu izrade svoju mapu digitalnog puta. Vjerujem da će im to jako pomoći. Podsjećam na sve besplatne alate koje vam stoje na raspolaganju, kao što su Minsi, koje preporučam da obavezno koristite prilikom izrade svojih ili naručivanja softverskih rješenja. Tu su vam i predlošci javne nabave koji će vam također jako koristiti i vjerujem da će vam sve ovo biti jako korisno. Maybe now it's time for me to leave the floor to colleague Chris. He will tell you a little bit more about the roadmap we all went through and to see what's going on.
Dobro jutro, ne govorim dobro hrvatski. My Croatian is still not great, but I will be doing it in English.
Great job.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our third and final online training session. Before I get started, I'm going to give kind of a bit of an overview of the journey that we've taken together starting on April 9th until today. But before I do so, I just want to quickly give a huge thank you to Francesca and her team for doing such a wonderful job of leading us and getting everybody together. So really a wonderful job. It's been such a pleasure to work with you guys. And it's a bittersweet feeling that it's the last, one of the last training sessions, but I know there'll be more exciting things to come. So as I mentioned, I kind of wanted to give a bit of an overview of what we've done. So what I'll do is maybe I will share my screen. No, actually, I will, maybe if I just tell you next, Francesca, okay, then it should be fine, okay? So so the journey of what we've taken is we have the first online training session. Well, in general, the online training programs have been a structured pathway to European communities to advance your digital transformation journey. So it's really one of the end goals, one of the culminating points is to implement local digital twins, right? So I'm going to go a little bit over how these are related. So here we see the first phase, the first online training session, which was the planning phase. The main goal was to understand how digitalization supports the EU Green Deal using tools like Lordimas to assess your digital maturity. So we talked a bit about creating a tailored digitalization roadmap and receiving the EU-aligned procurement support, about ensuring that your plans are strategic, actionable, and fundable. And some important things that we learned from this session were how important it is for climate neutrality and digitalization synergies. We also learned it's really important to have digital maturity assessment with tools like Lordimas, about roadmap development based on the EU methodology, and procurement templates to operationalize your plans. So the next slide, please, Francesca. Then we had the second online training, which was phase 2, and this was more of the preparatory phase. So here we talked a bit about, well, we had the roadmap in our hand, right? So in phase 2, we really dove into how to technically implement the digital strategies by introducing infrastructure and tools needed to develop local digital twins. So we really focused on the role of open data platforms, data spaces, and memes, or minimal interoperability mechanisms. And we also introduced a really nifty tool called the EU LDT Toolbox, which is basically a collection of open source resources designed to support Croatian cities in deploying interoperable, scalable, and digital solutions. So some of the big things that we got from the second online training session were open data is really the backbone of local digital twins. We learned that memes enable a seamless interoperability and architecture, and that the EU LDT Toolbox accelerates local digital twin deployment with practical tools. The next slide, please, Francesca. So today we're going to be, without giving too much away, I don't want to give any spoilers, but today we are doing the third online training session, which is the empowerment phase. And in the empowerment phase, we're activating support networks and funding opportunities. So this is quite a popular theme. With the foundation in place that we did with the other 2 online training sessions, we really want to talk today about empowering communities to take action through support networks like Living in EU, and what kind of funding opportunities exist. So we will get an introduction to the Living in EU community, where you can actually join some technical and policy working groups, some different working groups. You're going to go more into detail, in depth, and we're going to talk about some best practices. And then last but not least, we'll have Ignacio Garcia talk a little bit about some EU and local funding opportunities that can offer some guidance on proposal preparation. So yeah, the next slide, please. So these training sessions are really designed as a step-by-step journey to prepare your community for real-world deployment of local digital twins, as I mentioned before. And the local digital twin can be kind of referred to as a virtual representation of a city's infrastructure, services, and assets that support smarter data-driven decision-making. So in the first phase, in the planning phase, which is kind of the building the strategic foundation, the way it links to local digital twins is that without a strategic plan, implementing a local digital twin is not possible. Yeah. So phase 1 really ensured that cities have a vision, a roadmap, and governance framework aligned with climate and digital goals. In the phase 2, which is the preparatory phase, developing the technical infrastructure, it links to local digital twins because this translates into strategy, into action. So when you can equip your community with the data infrastructure and interoperable tools necessary to deploy and scale local digital twins in a harmonized and EU compliant way. And today, with the third training, the empowerment phase, which activates support and scaling, the link to the local digital twins is that local digital twins is not a one-off project. It requires really long-term support, learning, and funding. So this phase, today's phase, is meant to empower your communities and to maintain and evolve your digital twin by tapping into EU resources and networks. So last but not least, we would like to encourage you to take a look at the knowledge base on the Living in EU website. So if you type in Croatian to this website. If you have your smartphone and you scan the QR code, if you type in Croatian, you're going to see PDFs of the previous training sessions uploaded. We're going to make sure to upload today's session as well. So if you were not able to come to the other sessions, you can catch up there. And hopefully you can use this as a useful resource. So without further ado, I hand it back over to Francesca so we can learn a little bit more about the Living in EU ecosystem.
Thank you, Chris. I will switch to the Croatian a little bit. Dakle, Chris nam je dao stvarno jedan divan pregled svega onoga što smo do sada radili i što smo mogli naučiti i još jednom ponovio sve one dobrobiti koje nam nosi ova inicijativa. Ono što ćemo danas čuti i vidjeti u sljedećem videu su dakle te ključne radne skupine i njihova područja. U sklopu ove inicijative postoje 5 radnih skupina, to su tehnička, pravna, financijska skupina, onda radna skupina za praćenje i mjerenje i radna skupina za jačanje kapaciteta. O svemu tome ćete čuti malo više u videu, pa evo možemo krenuti dalje. Da li se čuje?
Ne. Ne znam da li je ostali čuo, Francesca, ja neću.
Ne, nemamo.
Ima titlu.
Ću probati još jednom pokrenuti. Samo sekundicu da probam switchat ovako. Već ako čujete. Se čuje sada? No sound?
We don't hear it. But maybe if you stop sharing and share again, you have to enable the share audio.
Let me try that. Isprike na malim tehničkim poteškoćama, ali sad ćemo to riješiti. Probat.
Welcome to Big Intro to the Living in New Workforce. By now, I've probably heard about living. But let me first briefly remind you what it is and why we invite you to work together in our work. Living in EU is an EU initiative on digital transformation of teaching and teaching, supported by the European Commission and the European Commission. It is based on the joint sustainable declaration. By signing this declaration, cities and regions commit to work together in 5 areas to accelerate their digital journey: technical, legal, financial, capacity building, and monitoring and management. To organize collaboration and help realize achievements, we set up 5 working groups, one for each of the areas that I said. The work takes place online via the Living in EU platform. Each working group organizes 4 online meetings per year. Each working group is coordinated by one of the founding networks of the Living in EU. Eurocities visits the working group on legal and finance, or the technical areas, the monitoring and measuring, and NOs by time. You will read the working group list for each of the engagements shortly. But before that, let me explain a bit more about this. The working group coordinator, also called working group, acts as an administrator and organizer. In addition, each working group paired by a member of the community, a city or a region, to ensure all. The working groups have annual work plans co-created with the members. Every city or region can propose a topic or activity to be included in the workshop. This is your chance to put your priorities on the table and get support from us on a complete picture. For example, you are developing your digital transformation strategy. You need to define your indicators. You can propose an activity for the monitoring and measuring working group and define indicators together with others. Or, your department must prepare a call for tender for the development of a data platform. You need to include a clause to ensure interoperability, new platform, and other features. You can get support from the technical working group on how to apply the minimal interoperable mechanism. So who can join the working group? The short answer is you, experts from the city or regional administration with a profile that is relevant to the scope and focus of the working group. Experts with technical backgrounds such as data officers, technology officers, innovation officers, and also legal experts or funding experts. The most suitable profiles can be different for what are the types of activities and results? There are two main types of activities. The first one is sharing information about new initiatives, laws, funding instruments. For example, there is the AIR. Cities and regions want to know what are the implications of new legislation on their work. Are they considered as employers or providers of AI systems? And what obligations stem from their statement? What concrete measures should they put in place to be compliant with the AI? Which involve European mission experts, lawyers, researchers to answer such questions. The second type of activity is about working together on a concrete tool or resource by a short, such as law demand, the MIM, standards AI procurement flow. Now, let's meet the working group leaders and dive deeper into the activity. Hello, my name is Sophie Meseros. Today I will tell you more about the technical working group for leading international. What is it about? The idea is to get to have a mission in CEA in partner with community and regular. This group acts as a kind of platform to get communities together for knowledge exchange, peer learning, and to express common change. At the core of this effort is the emphasis on creating interoperable services, patients, and solutions. Hence, this working group is the primary source for development of universal interoperable mechanisms, also known as that. In your specified areas where communities require interoperability, such as cybersecurity, AI, for expected data sharing, and articulates the requirement of capabilities necessary to accomplish interoperability in the respective area. It is accompanied by examples of stated mechanisms and thus, the foundational element of the European interoperability framework for smart communities and is used in various European technical sources like the European database for smart communities or the local data community. You should join. The group welcomes those who are interested in the development of interoperable solutions, services, and applications. You can share your experience and learn from other communities or ongoing European activities that tackle technical problems marketing present. So, this is useful for those representatives of local administrations who work on technology procurement, European relations, or digital policy. What are the types of activities and results? During our meetings, we provide space for communities to share their development and we bring in ongoing European projects that provide solutions for community technical challenges. So, we will be able to extend presentations by peers and Europe projects, participate in workshops to share your needs and challenges, and participate in the development of a minimal interoperable mechanism in many states. The results are published in the department reports, recommendations, interoperability guidelines, and other mechanisms. They share guidelines for the inclusive European digital transformation for regions, cities, and communities. My name is Anna Pandoligo, and I work for the European Network of Webinar, the partner for the application of participating work. The application with participating working groups is offered through a variety of programs. This includes public officers and city experts involved in digitalization. We also welcome smart city solution providers and NGOs focusing on digital inclusion and urban innovation. Academics and students exploring digital adaptation in urban and rural areas are invited to join. Citizens and grassroots initiatives advocating for fair digital transition are often having success. This sounds like you invited to become a member of our group. The group provides online educational opportunities tailored to your priorities. These priorities are identified during our annual assessment that takes place at the beginning and at the end of the year. Self-assessment is used to identify material that corresponds to requirements of members and build up the knowledge base that is accessible through networks everywhere. Our sections focus on skills development and knowledge sharing. Members gain access to tools and insights needed to navigate the evolving digital landscape. We bring together experts from various fields to discuss key topics. Some examples of key user opportunities include the topics of empowering user participation in digital design and how to achieve digital inclusion in pilot projects that are run by cities. By focusing on real movements, until our sessions get relevant and practical. Planning the education and capacity in working groups is access to events and avoidance getting content. By sharing your needs and insights, you can feel and persistent for meaningful digital development. We recognize that public authority and digital skills address today's challenges. This transformation takes time, but we're here to support. Our group prioritizes knowledge sharing and skills development. We connect with experts who provide insights to inform decision-making. This can help your organization with positive shift. Stay informed about our activities through relevant websites, the forum, social media, and the news. We look forward to welcoming you to the education and capacity building work. Together we can be skills and evaluate for digital inclusivity. Hello, my name is Anna Georgieva, and today I will tell you more about the financial work. So, what is the financial work about? We're successful sustainable and human-centered digital transformation depends on many interconnected factors. And of course, the financial aspect plays particularly. In this context, the financial working group of many individuals committed to ensuring that signatories can access and shape the financial resources necessary for activity in digital transformation. It invites experts from cities and regions to explore together such topics as available EU funding instruments and programs, currently investment plans, stimulus to be similar, reinforcement of objectives, as well as common public procurement practices, developing and implement common innovation practices. What's the story of financial work? Are you an expert from a city or a regional organization? Are you interested in the topic intertwined? Do you want to separate into your digital sustainable urban development? Are you interested in exchanging know-how and best practices and collaborating with peers from all around Europe? That's great, yes. Then we're looking forward to welcoming you to the financial world. What are the types of activity and results that we work? As it was mentioned, each working group has an annual work plan, and the financial one makes an hour. In 2024, we have been focusing on 4 key objectives. 1. Providing information and guidance to independent participants, as well as managing the financial needs of cities and communities with available funding. 2. Sharing knowledge on financial needs for local digital transformation and ongoing analysis of the financial needs of cities, and communities to ensure successful implementation of and, or, last but not least, understanding the complex needs of European digital infrastructure, also known as. In this context, earlier this year, we hosted a webinar for the Connecting Europe Facility Foundation with a particular focus on the PDO digital for 5G and Edge Cloud for 5G. We also organized a dedicated session to gather feedback from the leading signatories on the development of the digital Europe and to make a direct reply to the online consultation on the internal evaluation of the digital Europe program launched in the European Commission. To further support cities in navigating the challenges they face in analyzing their digital process and digital, general our city to prepare a publication of items. The opportunity to challenge rates for Western cities and regional states. be preparing a webinar dedicated to the development of the European digital infrastructure and multi-country partners and the fiasco and opportunities. Last but not least, it's already started working on the salaries. It will be informed about our current activities and upcoming initiatives in 2025 on the beginning webpage. We're looking forward to welcoming you to the Financial Working Group meetings.
Hello, my name is Rodolphe Edouard, and today I will tell you more about the monitoring and measuring work. First, what is the monitoring and measuring working group about? The monitoring and measuring working group is bringing together cities, regions, and communities to develop a solid and unique framework for measuring and monitoring sustainable digital transformation. Sharing the knowledge, vision, and action is a key element in digital transformation and scaling up digital innovation. If we develop and validate local and regional key performance indicators and data collection procedure for common and transparent monitoring, we will be able to compare smart city solutions across European cities. This is a crucial horizontal element in all digitalization plans. To promote digital transformation and the scaling up of digital innovation in cities, regions, and communities, the Living in EU movement and monitoring and measuring working group would like to better understand what the different actors are doing, what works, what does not, and why. Who should join the monitoring and measuring working group? The monitoring and measuring working group is designed for city and regional representatives who are actively contributing to digital transformation and exchanging with peers on measurement tools and strategies, seeking to enhance their ability to measure digital transformation through a comprehensive overview. Interested in defining a framework for measuring digital transformation across European cities and regions, or in charge of measuring and reporting progress on digital transformation, local and regional levels, including with the Lord Master. And now, what are the types of activity and results we are implementing? With the support of the leading EU signatories, together with the European Commission, the European Political Division, ESPON, and the leading EU partners, the monitoring and measuring working group contributed to launch local and regional digital indicators framework, which aims to support digital transformation efforts across Europe by providing the necessary evidence on what is happening on the local and regional levels. It helps cities and regions develop and steer the relevant policies to fulfill the commitments and actions and to support access to different financing opportunities. The set of indicators maps cities and regions in 5 broad categories: local digital infrastructure, local digital skills and capacity building, local digital economy and services, governance and digital single market, and socioeconomic context. Following the Lordi Master's local and regional digital maturity assessment tool, an annual self-assessment exercise, and a tool designed for local, metropolitan, and regional governments. The assessment focuses on multiple aspects linked to wider EU-led policy initiatives, which are related to governance, service design, data management, interoperability, service delivery, technology, and network. It is designed to be used as an annual monitoring exercise to see how individual governments and Europe as a whole are transforming over time. The detailed data about the digital transformation trends on the ground enables local and regional governments to make informed policy decisions to improve their spending and deliver better value to the citizens. The key objective for the monitoring and measuring working group will be to support the use of local tools and ensuring stake up to achieve critical mass city, region, and community answering the term.
Hello, my name is Webinar Podrška, and today I will tell you more about the legal working group. What is the legal working group about? Across the European Union, there are many factors that influence the sustainable and human-centered digital transformation. One of them is the legal framework. In this context, the legal working group is committed to ensuring that signatories can comply with the legal requirements and possess the necessary legal instruments to facilitate the digital transformation. It brings together legal experts, policy officers, and smart city members, and it explores topics such as the explanations of policy priorities, legislative acts, and programs at a new level, guidance on upcoming policy programs, definitions of procurement concepts for emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, synergies between the EU, national, and local policies on digital transformation. Why you should join the legal work today? We are always happy to welcome experts from cities, regions, and national authorities that would like to explore the legal aspects of digital transformation. The legal working group allows you to stay updated on relevant legislation, also exchanging your know-how and best practice, collaborating with other officers from all around you. What are the types of activities and results that we have? Every year, the members of the legal working group draft an annual work plan, defining key activities and topics. In 2024, we focused on three objectives: understanding EU legislative acts and policy proposals, and their impact on cities, regions, and member states. Understanding the legal instruments that can support the digital transformation, such as guidelines, sandboxes, tools. Exchanging best practices to tackle common local challenges, such as legally defining the use and application of new technology. In this context, we organized workshops together with some technology owners, and we drafted standard procurement codes of AI. These codes define the legal procedures applied when using and implementing AI technologies in public context. The codes were published by the European Commission and are freely available online. We also analyzed together the Artificial Intelligence Act, helping cities and regions in understanding its impact and regulations. We discussed the topics of interoperability and how to ensure much more connected public service, and much more. You can stay informed about our current activities and upcoming initiatives in 2025 through the Living the Team webpage and newsletter. We are looking forward to welcoming you at the legal working group.
We hope that now you can identify which working group matches your interests and synergies. Each working group has its own private page on the Webinar web. Join them and explore the report with everyone.
Evo ga, čuli smo malo o ovoj temi koja se odnosi na radne skupine. Kao što ste vidjeli, znači, ova inicijativa nije isključivo namijenjena samo informatičkoj struci. Ona može koristiti i svim djelatnicima vaše gradske uprave, bilo to financije, pravo, one koji se bave strategijom, financiranjem i tako dalje. Znači, tehnička radna skupina, kao što smo vidjeli, se fokusira na razvoj zajedničkih standarda i tehničkih specifikacija kako bi se postigla interoperabilnost podataka, sustava i platformi među gradovima i dobavljačima. Znači, interoperabilnost je nekakva ključna riječ koja se provlači kroz cijelu ovu inicijativu. Cilj je omogućiti rješenja poput otvorenih platformi i digitalnih blizanaca. Sljedeća, znači, skupina je pravna skupina koja se bavi aspektima digitalne transformacije, uključujući regulativu, zaštitu podataka i pravnu interoperabilnost. Ako vam je ponekad teško pratiti sve one legislative koje se dolaze iz razine Europske unije, pa onda niže se spuštaju prema nama, znači ovo vam je odlična prilika da se povežete sa kolegama iz drugih europskih zajednica i da na brži način doznate nešto što vas zanima ili muči. Treća je ova financijska radna skupina koja istražuje održive mjere vezane uz zajedničke investicijske planove, optimizaciju sinergije između različitih fondova, bilo oni EU, nacionalnih ili lokalnih, te jačanje ulaganja u digitalnu transformaciju kroz zajedničke javne nabave i smanjenje troškova implementacije digitalnih platformi. Radna skupina za praćenje i mjerenje je jedna od skupina koja je između ostalog i donijela u produkciju alat koji se naziva Lordima, s kojim smo vas upoznali već nekoliko puta i kojeg moram napomenuti da se i kroz europske inicijative, dakle kroz potiče na korištenje prilikom apliciranja na EU fondove. Tako da sigurno možda vi koji se niste priključili sada, možda ćete u nekom trenutku se priključiti i ispuniti Lordimas i za praćenje vaše digitalne zrelosti. I posljednja radna skupina koja je spomenuta je ona za jačanje kapaciteta, a koja je zapravo usmjerena na edukaciju i izgradnju kapaciteta javnih službenika kako bi stekli te potrebne vještine i metodologije za uspješno upravljanje digitalnom transformacijom. Sada kada smo prošli malo više o ovome i pozivamo vas naravno da se priključite, sljedeće je, željela bih pozvati kolegu Ignacija. Ignacio, I will give a floor to you to guide us through all the EU funding possibilities that will help us to achieve all goals that we have set through our digitalization roadmap that we developed, but it's also for all of them that didn't go through this map but still have their digitalization goals. I will stop presenting my presentation now and give it
Thank you.
to your hands.
Okay, let's see if I share. Let me know if you hear me well and you see full screen.
Yes,
right
we
now?
do. Yep,
Perfect.
great.
Perfect. So good morning, everyone. Thank you, Francesca, for organizing this training. I will take advantage that I have like 30 to 40 minutes. So I will explain slowly what are the funding opportunities. And there are very exciting opportunities right now. No? So first of all, we are going to identify what are those funding opportunities within Digital Europe and Horizon Europe that are already published to support your digital transformation. Then we are going to navigate through the basic requirements for the participation and the application process so you can have a good understanding of what is the workload that it implies. And then we have compiled a lot of resources that are available at public level. So if you want to really look into some more details, you will have access to those links. So let's start with the funding opportunities. Let's start a little bit with the context, right? So we are right now in the European 2021-2027 long-term budget that together with the Next Generation EU recovery instrument, that amount to 2018 trillion euros. That is unprecedented response that is there to help repair the economic and social damage caused by the coronavirus pandemic and to the transition towards a modern and more sustainable Europe. This package consists of the long-term budget 2021-27 multi-annual financial framework made out of 1,211 trillion euros combined with the temporary recovery instrument Next Generation EU of around 800 billion euros. So we have really a great opportunity right now to leverage some funding to your digital and sustainable projects. So this long-term budget has been divided in several funding programs. With this slide, what I want to transmit is that even though if today we focus on two of the major programs, Horizon Europe and Digital Europe, there are other opportunities as well that can help cities and communities to invest in the digital transformation. But for For us, the most important, we have already filtered those programs that are more relevant to the digital transformation of public administration. And those are Digital Europe. Digital Europe supports the development and deployment of digital infrastructure skills, focusing on public administration efficiency and accessibility. We will deep into Digital Europe in a moment. Then when we talk about research and innovation project, like more focus on creating new concepts, we go to the Horizon Europe that also have a lot of funding available to advance in digital technologies and public services. Also very important for Croatia is Interreg, that promotes regional cooperations to enhance digital connectivity and innovation in public services. It makes a lot of sense to collaborate with the regions around Croatia, like we can think about Slovenia, we can think about Italy. So cooperating within different countries to deliver improvement in digital connectivity. Then we have the technical support instrument, TSI, that is more focused on technical support of implementing digital reforms in public administration. For example, if you are in a digital transition toward offering digital public services, this is the program where you can look into funding available. And then Connecting Europe facility, that a lot of communities and regions knows about it, because this is the famous Wi-Fi for EU that was deploying Wi-Fi in many small communities and cities. So this program is more related to improving the digital network and infrastructure to enhance public administration service and connectivity. It involves topics related to the deployment of 5G networks, Wi-Fi, so everything that is related to infrastructure, communication infrastructure, but also other type of infrastructure. With all this, we were talking in previous training phases and in the dissemination session that it's very important to have a digital roadmap. Also, what are those digital projects that you want to deploy? But it's also important to identify for those projects which is the perfect funding opportunity that is available for you to co-fund the investment that you are going to do. So I'm going to start with Digital Europe. Digital Europe is funded, of course, with the European budget. Is a total of 7.6 billion euros allocated for the total period of 2021-2027. Public administrations, you are one of the main stakeholders of this funding opportunity, and the objective of Digital Europe is to fund projects in 5 different areas. Those are supercomputing centers, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, advanced digital skills, that is very important as well to train new citizens to be able to perform new jobs, and also to increase the digital capacity, both of the public administration, but also of the community and citizens. If you see, in terms of quantity of funding, mainly most of the funding will be allocated to supercomputing, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity, and then around 1.6 to advanced skills and digital capacity. So there are many opportunities for you, and we will analyze now what are the open topics to implement and deploy these technologies. This is very related with local digital tools, by the way. That is the whole topic that we have been covering during these dissemination and training sessions. What is the funding available in Digital Europe? There are 3 different types of projects. There are simple grants that are flexible type of actions for a variety of topics, and the funding rate for every partner is 50%. There are also some actions that really want to boost the uptake of new technologies developed by small and medium enterprises. These are SME support actions, and these actions are funded 50% for every consortium member, except for the SMEs, who will receive up to 75% of the funding rate. And we have the coordination and support actions that are a small type of actions with the primary goal to promote cooperation and provide support to European policies. Those projects that are smaller and are more related to strategies, these are funded 100% for every partner. One of the main difficulties for public administration to participate in Digital Europe is the 50% co-funding rate. But you might know that you can also co-invest with private or other grants available at regional level. So if you demonstrate that you have the 100% funding, that is okay for this program. And what is already there, because the work program for 2025 is already published. There are many opportunities for data projects. There are a data space support center that is going to provide a data space help desk for Europe. We have also another opportunity to develop digital solutions for regulatory compliance through data. This is very interesting as well, to improve the regulatory compliance for many of the new technologies and the deployments that are coming. There is also a big multi-country project in agri-food, so many projects related to agri-food will be funded through this 15 million euros available. There is as well one of the most, I think, important topics that are related to generative AI for public administration in different topics. So how to include generative artificial intelligence in the different public administration services to the citizens, or for the improvement of efficiency of the public administration processes and services. So there are 21 million euros for this one, and I think it's really interesting to see how this will work. And as well, there are some funds allocated to the consolidation of the network of European digital innovation hubs. There are also another call with 27 million euros on digital skill academies. So they are going to fund here the development of digital skill academies in whole Europe. And there are some others related to safer internet centers, 42 million available. The deadline for all these calls that I mentioned is the 2nd of September of 2025. So if you are interested in some of these topic opportunities, I will recommend you to contact the Digital Europe National Contact Point. Try to leverage on your partners, if you have partners, or to contact the administration in Croatia that is dealing with Digital Europe to find a way to participate in these topics. One good thing about the Work Program 2025-2027 is that we also have the topics that will be available in 2026 and 2027. Just to give you a brief summary, for 2026, there will be investment in a data space for manufacturing. There will be also investment in virtual worlds, so metaverse test beds, as well as more investment in the consolidation of the network of European digital innovation hubs and GovTech technologies. In 2027, there will be some funding opportunities for data spaces for tourism. This is very relevant for Croatia. So I will suggest that you start investigating this potential opportunity, but also data space for skills. Okay, they will keep also investing in generative AI applications to also widely scale up in different countries in Europe. So this is Digital Europe, more focused on the deployment, as you see, of technologies like data spaces, local digital twins, metaverse, generative AI, right? And really looking into the implementation and deployment of those technologies within the whole Europe. So let's move forward now to Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is the main European funding program for research and innovation with over 95 billion euros for 2021-2027. Overall, 35% will support digital transformation. Within the stakeholders, we also have public authorities, but you might collaborate with researchers, universities, SMEs, and private sector entities. These are more projects related to develop new concepts, test and pilot new ideas. Why this is relevant for cities and communities? Because you can be the living lab, you can test new technologies that will be available in the next 3 to 5 years, and you can be a pioneer on doing that and begin to bring those advances within your own digital strategies. In Horizon Europe, there are many topics that are available. They have different clusters. I will look into it right now. So there are mainly 3 pillars. All of them aim to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and the aim is to boost the European competitiveness and growth. There are 3 pillars. Pillar 1 is excellent science. This is more related to research centers and universities because it's very basic research. Pillar 2 is the global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. These are the pillars that are really interesting as well for cities and communities. We have different clusters, and I will present to you today the cluster on climate, energy, and mobility that is one of the most relevant for cities. And then we'll have pillar 3 that is more related to innovation ecosystem, how to leverage potential innovations to the market. So as I said, one of the main, within pillar 2, one of the main or more interesting cluster for cities and communities is cluster 5. That is related to climate, energy, and mobility. It offers cities funding opportunities to develop innovative solutions for sustainable urban environments. It supports projects that aim to enhance energy efficiency, promote clean transportation, and address climate change challenges, fostering resilient and smart cities. Within this cluster, we have 6 different destinations. The most important destinations for cities and communities is destination 2, with involved funding for cross-cutting solutions for cities and breakthrough technologies that can allow cities to move forward with innovative projects. Also, not to forget, there are also some funding for citizen and stakeholder engagement. Also, if we look into destination 3 and 4, that is really interesting for cities because it's everything related to energy supply and energy demand. It could involve renewable energy, but also energy demand in public buildings, for example, or in the industry, and how to make it circular. If we look into destination 5 and 6, it's more related to transportation and smart mobility. We are looking into different solutions to make more sustainable all transport modes, zero emissions road transport, aviation, waterborne, and also transport-related health and environmental issues. But also looking into multimodality. right? How do we combine the different transport modes to make it more sustainable and safer the transportation of passengers and goods? You will have access to this presentation, and here you have also where are the cluster 5 open topics for 2025 at this moment, but I will present in a moment. So sorry, let's go to the following one. Within Horizon Europe, the type of actions are research and innovation actions to generate new knowledge or explore the feasibility of new technologies, product, processes, services, or solutions. These projects are funded 100% with a 25% of indirect costs. There are also innovation actions. Those are projects that are related to closer to the market, right? So related to the design of new improved product, processes, or services. It includes prototype, testing, demos, pilots, validation, and replication. The funding rate for public administration is also 100%, but for profit organization, it decreased to 70% because those projects are more closer to the market. And then we also have coordination and support actions, CSAs, that are similar to Digital Europe CSA. So small type of actions with the primary goal to promote cooperation and provide support to European policies, and these are 100% funded. Okay, so what is already there in cluster 5 that can support cities and communities to move forward with the projects? You will see here 5 potential topics that we have scouted that could be interesting for you. The first one is charging solutions for road light-duty vehicles. The second one is focused on the energy conversion and safety of low zero carbon fuels in waterborne transport. The third one is more related to the preparation of large-scale CCAM demonstration. Then we go into strategies, tools, and concepts for optimized road battery electric vehicles and innovative air mobility and services for sustainable and smart urban peri-urban transport. You will see that in cluster 5 right now, what is open is everything related either to transportation or to energy. Okay, so if you have a project that is related to this topic, please take a look to this description. I will show you how to navigate. But if you click on the links, you will get access to the full topic description available. Last but not least, in the Horizon Europe, there are also 5 specifically identified missions. These research and innovation missions aim to provide solutions to some of the major challenges the world is facing. Today, I want to focus as well in the climate neutral and smart city mission that has a lot of funding available for cities, but also it is important to identify that there are funding available for soil health and food, for healthy oceans, and for adaptation to climate change, inclusive of societal transformation. And there are some topics also open in the mission climate neutral and smart cities that I think are very interesting for cities and communities. The first one is related to coupling circularity and climate mitigation in industrial sites and their cities and regions. How to make circularity between the city, the urban area, and the industrial sites. There is 70 million euros available, and 2 pilot projects will be funded. So it is, if you are working on circularity with industrial sites, this is a very interesting topic for you. And it's an innovation action, so it's closer to the market, more to testing and developing the solutions that are available there. Also very interesting is the innovative artificial intelligence-based solutions for urban planning and management. So if you are already using artificial intelligence solutions for urban planning, 3D modeling, for all the urban strategies, there is 24 million euros available, and there will be funding for pilot projects. There is another one that is very interesting, that is how to increase the modal share within walking and cycling to increase health benefits and reduce the CO2 emissions. There are 12 million euros available and 2 projects will be funded. And there are also some other opportunities, pre-commercial procurement, that are a little bit further in 2026. The most important, you have also here the links. If you click on the links, you will have access to the whole description of the topic, and the topics ends in September, 4th of September. So we are already there, summertime before. So please take a look. And if you are interested in some of the topics, please contact your national contact point. I will give you some more details later. On the mission of adaptation to climate change, there are also some opportunities that are very interesting for local authorities and cities. The first one is supporting regional and local authorities in developing their action plans toward climate resilience. There are 17 million euros and they will fund one project. There is also testing and demonstrating innovative solutions to improve resilience to extreme heat, including addressing health impact. This is very relevant with all the climate changes that we are living right now, and this extreme heat, I guess, in Treći you also have, similar to Spain or Italy, so South Europe, we are suffering for this extreme heat during larger period of time. And there will be 3 projects funded, around 10 million euros per project. There are also pre-commercial procurement of breakthrough tech solutions for climate proofing of public buildings. So if you are renovating public buildings and you want to demonstrate the climate proofing, please take a look to this topic as well. And then there are also some demonstration solutions to help hotspot in coastal regions. That is also very relevant for Croatia. There are 30 million euros and 3 projects will be funded. The 3 first topics ends on the 24th of September, and the 4th one closes in January 2026, so there is more time to prepare the proposal. I will not go into the details, but you will have access to this slide with also some other topics in Cluster 2, Culture, Creativity, and Inclusive Society, Cluster 3 on Civil Security, Cluster 4 on Digital Industry, and Cluster 6 on Food, Bioeconomy, Natural Resources, and Agriculture. That I think could be also relevant for cities and communities because they cover from democracy to, for example, large-scale disruption of critical infrastructure, like it happened in Spain with the energy cut-off. There are also some projects related to how cities and regional local authorities can engage risk awareness on and preparedness for cybersecurity. So take a look because those topics are also could be also potential topics for cities and communities. Okay, and now once we know what are the main opportunities that are there, I will try to guide you on the process to participate. First of all, as we already commented, you need to have a clear picture of what is the idea. That is why it is so important to have the digital roadmaps available so you know what are the priorities for your cities and communities. When you have those priorities and communities and you have already an idea, you will match it with a call for proposal. All those topics that I have been presenting, you will see, okay, if there is a match between them or not. For example, if you are working on energy efficiency in public buildings and you identify there is a call for proposal for this topic, then you can really see and match your idea with the topic that has been published by the European Commission. The second step is to check the eligibility. The different topics and programs have different eligibility criteria. I will go into those criteria later, but you need to cross-check that you are not going to invest time in something that is, at the end of the day, not really feasible for you, or you don't fulfill the criteria basically. When you have everything and you start contacting your stakeholders, partners, universities, research centers, other cities and communities, you can start preparing the proposal, drafting the concept note, drafting your potential collaboration in that project, and really identifying what is the role, what do you aim to do within the project, what is the budget, and what is the impact that it will have in your city and community. Once you have all the proposal preparation, you can submit the proposal on the European Commission portal, and then you will receive feedback and evaluation in between 5 to 6 months of the submission deadline. All the topics has a submission deadline. You can always submit earlier than the deadline, but not after. And within Digital Europe and Horizon Europe, usually, all the calls require proposal from European consortium, consisting of partners from different eligible countries. Usually, is at least 3 partners from 3 different eligible countries. Some topics also specify the type of organization that need to be part of the consortium. For example, there are many topics that require that public administration is part of the proposal and project, because they want that the technology at the end is uptake by the main stakeholders. Eligibility, all the legal entities, either public or private, based on Europe, on any European member state or an eligible non-European country, are eligible to collaborate with you, and also some third countries. It's very important to have an ecosystem. I would recommend, if you identify the topic that you aim to work, to contact the research centers and universities or potential partners within your network that could be interested as well in working with you and try to bring you some more capabilities to do this process of writing a proposal. As I told you, on the different links, on the different opportunities that I have scouted, there are some links. If you click on this link, it will take you to the European Funding and Tender portal. This is a screenshot of what is a topic description look like. So we have the topic identification, so what is the name? We have the budget overview, how much budget is available and how many projects are they going to fund, the deadline, and also the topic description. It's very important that you read the whole topic description and you understand what the European Commission strategy is trying to request. If you go a little bit down, you will see the topic conditions and documents. And I want to highlight as well that there is a partner search tool. You can both look into partners that are working on this topic or publish your willingness to participate and be contacted to be part of some other consortiums. You also have a button to create the proposal if you are the coordinator. If not, you don't have to do this. And also the frequently asked questions at the bottom. Usually public administration, unless you have a very good department on projects, on European projects, you will not be the coordinator of the project. So the coordinator will take care of submitting the overall proposal and coordinating the proposal. But just for you to have an overview, what you need to prepare at the end are 2 different parts. So part A is the administrative information generated by the IT system. So the name of the entity, the role, and also some previous projects. So giving more information on what you giving evidence of your entity. And then you have also part B, that is the narrative description of the project. Part B contains usually 3 or 4 different parts: the relevance, the implementation, the impact, and the work plan. The application form must be prepared by the whole consortium and be submitted by the representative, in this case, the coordinator. There is a page limit, usually it's between 50 and 70 pages. And in some of the calls, you can also provide annexes that doesn't count towards the page limit. An advice is, even though that it seems 50 or 70 pages are a lot, it's not a lot. When we work with maybe 10 partners and you need to describe all the work that needs to be done, is not enough. So keep your inputs as concise as possible. Provide your use case, your willingness, your projects in a concise way to the coordinator, and try to plan very well the work that you are going to do. These are some hints that I wanted to highlight today. It's very important that the proposed work really fits within the scope of the work program topic. Don't try to fit an idea to a topic where there is no match, because then you will be automatically out of the evaluation. You will not receive a good evaluation. And when describing your ideas, always be ambitious. Go beyond the state of the art. Think further. Think about, if we are talking, for example, about local digital twins, and we do want to do a pilot on the use of artificial intelligence, for example, trying to think about how to go beyond the state of the art. That's why it's so important to collaborate with research centers and universities within your country or in Europe to also help you to move forward and look into the next 3-5 years. Also very important is to think and demonstrate how the project will contribute to the impact of the work program, but also how it will impact the city. Okay, if we are talking about a project, for example, in mobility, once the project is executed, what will be the impact in the city? How will be the CO2 reduction? How will the health be improved? So this is very important as well, to demonstrate and give evidence that what you are proposing is really innovative and will have an impact in your region. And of course, you need to demonstrate the quality of your work, resources, and participants. Usually there are 3 award criteria. So the relevance, so how the project aligns with the objectives, not only with the objective of the topic, but also to the long-term policy objective of the European Commission. So it's very important to know the overall context. The implementation is the maturity of the project. It's really feasible, it's really challenging, and needs to have some funding to be executed. And then the impact, no? So what will be the outcome of the project, how it will strengthen the competitiveness and will benefit the society. Some reminder is that all the proposals need to be delivered on time, and that you need to deliver all the documentation on time. There is no amendment possible in Horizon Europe or Digital Europe. So once the deadline is there, you cannot submit anything else or change anything. In general, I also wanted to highlight that the usual cost categories that are funded within these programs are personal costs, so the cost of your employees or natural persons under direct contract, subcontracting, purchase costs, including traveling and subsistence, equipment or other goods, work and services. There are also other cost categories for internal invoice goods and services or for financial support, and that indirect cost. If it is Digital Europe, is 7% of indirect cost, but if it is Horizon Europe, it's 25%. Those 7 and 25%, you don't have to report, and it's just to also provide you with some support for the execution of the project and cost that has not been taken into account within the proposal preparation. With this, I finish my presentation in terms of how to apply. It's a little complex, but I would like you to consider all those opportunities, because at the end, those cities and communities that invest time in creating a network of European partners, they are able to get funding for all these innovative projects that they have on the roadmap. It's very important to leverage on that network that you have, or create that network if you don't have it at the moment. As we were watching just before, Living in EU, for example, has a working group on funding. So that is a perfect ecosystem to show your interest in some of the topics and try to look for partners that are working on the different funding opportunities and trying to engage with them. But also, you have in Croatia your national contact points. There are national contact points for Digital Europe and for Horizon Europe. Those are publicly available. I will show you the link now. And if you are interested in some of these topics, please don't hesitate to contact them and try to look into the next steps. So to finalize, I have compiled a lot of links. Some examples, for example, is how to prepare a successful proposal in Horizon Europe. What are the tips and tricks while writing your proposal? Not only that, but also how to navigate through the funding and tender portal, how to do the submission and evaluation and agreement preparation. So there are a lot of resources for you available to really navigate and find a way to train your team to leverage on these funding opportunities and try to get also some more funding for your projects. Very important, there are also some info days. So there are some info days available these days on the different opportunities. Here you have the list. And also, as I mentioned, the national contact points. There is a website where you can filter by country, by cluster, and you will get access to the national contact points in Croatia. So that will be it from my side, Francesca. Maybe just time for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ignacio. This was very, very insightful through all the EU projects and all the tips you gave it to us. Thank you so much. Your advice was super clear and really helpful. And I think it was something really needed in order to get started on our green and digital transition project. Does anybody have any questions? I will share my screen now. Please feel free to ask anything. Ako želite, možete postaviti pitanje na hrvatskom, možete se javiti, uključiti mikrofon ili možete pitati putem četa. Mislim da smo dobili stvarno jako vrijedne informacije sa svim pregledom mogućnosti financiranja naših projekata i izvorima. Dobit ćete, kao što ćete dobiti snimku ovog webinara, tako ćete dobiti i prezentaciju. Evo, gospodine Gordan, možete.
Hvala lijepo, poštovanje. Thank you. Well, I'm coming from ADH Croatia, Adria in Croatia, so the representative of that ADH. And what I'm interested in is the evaluation criteria regarding application to the funding schemas that you have presented. Are there some additional points for the organizations that have engaged with some ADH TBI, maybe service or some others? Thank you.
For Horizon, I will respond to this one. Thank you very much for the question. On the evaluation criteria, there is one specific criteria that is related to the quality of the consortium. So they will evaluate as well the capabilities of the consortium members. And of course, if you are part of those initiatives already, you give evidence that you have the capabilities to move forward. But it's one of the evaluation criteria. Yeah. It does not describe exactly those references that you made, but it's in general what is the overall quality of the consortium members. Does this respond to your question?
Well, not completely.
Okay.
So what I would like to clarify is, you know about the TBI service, Test Before Invest,
Yes.
in which some the digitalization concept is discussed, and some technical readiness level 4, maybe 3, some demo is developed. So when organization, speaking SME or public organization, wants to implement some solution, we have, let's say, a sort of technical specification that comes like output of the TBI service, like TBI report. So in that sense, there is continuity in testing, and also attempts to implement some digital solution in the organization. So I was wondering if there are some benefits for those organizations that have participated in some other EU programs like digital. EDH comes from digital, yes. Are those criteria present or not?
In Horizon Europe and Digital Europe, there is no specific criteria related to that, but it will show evidence that you are capable of continuing those testing. So that is not specifically written on the evaluation criteria, but it will give evidence that you are there. What, for example, is already being implemented in some other topics in Digital Europe, for example, is we have been talking about LORDIMAS in previous training and dissemination sessions. This is the digital maturity assessment for cities and communities. For example, in some open calls for data spaces, they already require the LORDIMAS results in order to be able to apply for the call. It's just to give evidence. So responding to your question, is not a specific criteria, but it will show, and you will give evidence of your capabilities to continue the deployment of these testing experiments, pilots, whatever you want to do. So it's always good.
If I can step in just for a second, yeah, it was a little bit confusing since I work for the town of Opatija also. We were first the member of the EDIC Hadria. We were a part of one project, and we did the Test Before Invest, but before that we had to do the digital maturity assessment. And then afterwards we were invited to this initiative, and we completed LORDIMAS. So it's kind of the same, but it's not, and it was really confusing to have these two separate different ways to
measure digital maturity.
Yeah, to measure. And I must say the digital maturity assessment was maybe easier because it had a lot of sub questions. It was more clear to us to get to know what the really question was. So I must say that digital maturity assessment was kind of better for us, for my experience.
Yeah, it depends, I think, on the project as well.
Does anybody else have any questions?
But
Well,
why do we have? Sorry, but why
yes.
do we have from the same EU organization several measurement systems for the same thing?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. It's not the same. So you have, for example, on the EDIS, you have a digital maturity assessment, and then LORDIMAS was created, of course, after that one. They are totally different. LORDIMAS, for example, is a self-assessment, and the other digital maturity assessment is you need to do it in person with one expert from the EDIS. Also, it depends, of course, on the final goal. The different maturity assessment can assess more or less. So it depends on what you're looking for. You might use one of the digital maturity assessments or another one.
And I think also that digital maturity assessment is more for the SMEs, and LORDIMAS is more for the public sector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local and regional authorities. LORDIMAS is for local and regional authorities.
Okay. Anybody?
Can I ask
Yes.
maybe a question to the public? Is anyone working on any proposal for Horizon Europe or Digital Europe in Croatia right now from the audience right now?
I'm really not sure.
So I will, if none, I will advise or recommend you to at least explore with Living in EU if you can join any consortium. If you are also interested in some of the topics that I have been presenting, and Francesca, you will distribute as well. We will upload the presentation in Living in EU, and you will have access to all the links. If you identify one of more than one proposals that are interesting for you, that you also publish your expertise within the topic partner set, so you get some contacts. Because at the end, when you develop this kind of, and I've been working on this 17 years, cities and communities is very difficult to engage within the project. And Eastern cities and communities are also, we don't want the same cities and communities always to be the potential partners. So Madrid, Barcelona, Amsterdam, no, Paris. So all those big cities are already in many projects. They get a lot of funds. And if you read some of the topics, they don't want these leading cities anymore. They want to replicate in other areas. I know Split, for example, is very active. Also, if you are a small community region, try to contact the leaders in your country just to check what they are doing, to get into the ecosystem, to maybe be involved in one proposal with a small role, and then you get to know how to do it. And once you are in the circle, you will get access to more funding. So this is my advice. And right now is the perfect moment because we have all the deadlines in September.
Thank you. Okay, I think we will move on. Ovdje su vam svi linkovi na razne aktivnosti kojima se možete priključiti. Znači, Living in EU, možete se pogledati još jednom, oni koji niste do sada, alat Lordimas, istražiti MIMSE. U chatu vam je kolega Chris naveo sve linkove za pristup tim materijalima. Kao što sam rekla, dobit ćete materijale i video snimku kao i prezentaciju. Pozivam vas da pratite stranicu Udruge gradova kao i njihov newsletter. Bilo kakvo pitanje koje budete imali u budućnosti slobodno možete kontaktirati njih ili direktno mene. Thank you so much, Ignacio, Chris, and please say thanks to Genoveva. We really appreciate your support, and I'm sure that this is not the end of our collaboration. I'm looking forward to work together in some other projects in the future. So we will hear from you again, I'm sure. I'm asking everybody to please be free to we value your feedback on this training session. I invite you all to participate to our annual conference, City Upgrade, that will be held in Opatija on 18th and 19th of September this year. So follow us also about that. And if there is no questions inside, maybe Zoran, something you would like to say? Microphone? Yes.
Thanks all for much information about possibilities for founding and the collaboration. I think it's a better way that inside our working group we are make comment and cooking some idea for implementation for that. Thanks all for all that, and Francesca and our working group will be working on next steps for cooperation. together. Thanks for Francesca for organizing this session.
Thank you so much for the support, and thanks so much from the part of Serendipity. It wouldn't be possible without you.
Hvala, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hvala svima i vidimo se nekom drugom prilikom. Očekujem od vas prijavu na City Upgrade. See you. Bye.
Pozdrav, bog.
Pozdrav svima.